Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello everyone. Good morning. How are you today? I hope you are good, you are great, and you are fantastic. Today we were going to learn about a very important lesson. Yes, that is about grammar.
And in this occasion, we are going to learn about using adjective clauses to modify pronouns. Okay, before we start it, let me give you a little exercise here. I don't remember when she came home. I don't remember the time when she came home. Look at this example. I is the subject. Remember is the verb. When she came home is the object of the verb remember. Okay, let me highlight it first. Okay. And here, I don't remember the time when she came home. I is also a subject. Remember is the verb. The time right here is the object of the verb remember. Okay, but if you say I don't remember the time, just I don't remember the time, we don't know. We don't know which is the time he is or she is talking about. It is not clearly. Okay, so we add when she came home to it modifies the time, makes it more specifically. Okay, so when she came home is the adjective clauses which is modify the time. I don't know where he lives. I is the subject, know is the verb, where he lives is the object. That's right. The object of the verb know. And the other sentence, I don't know the apartment where he lives. Know is the verb and the apartment yes, is the object of the verb know. That's right. And where he lives, and right here is an adjective clauses which is modify the object the apartment. Okay, good job guys. Using adjective clauses to modify pronouns. Remember that previously we learned about using adjective clauses to modify nouns and how to differentiate between noun clause and adjective clause, right? And here, uh, when adjective clauses to modify pronouns, not nouns, pronouns. Okay, look at this first point. The first point is adjective clauses can modify indefinite pronouns. Okay, indefinite pronouns. We know that definite pronouns is like, for example, Ali came late to the class. He was late because he forgot he forgot about the lecture. Okay, so after we read the sentence, we know that he referred to Ali. That's right. And pronouns is like someone. It is not referring to anyone or anybody in particular. That is like someone, everything, anybody, everybody, or something like that. Okay. Look at to the example. There is someone I want you to meet. Everything he said was pure nonsense. Anybody who wants to come is welcome. Okay. Let me copy the example to the word. Okay, look at the example. There is someone I want you to meet. Can anybody tell me where is the adjective clause? Yes, of course. That's right. I want you to meet is the adjective clause. It modifies the subject someone, which is someone is an indefinite pronoun. that refer to anyone or anybody in particular. Okay, can you tell me what's going on this sentence? Like we have something that's not there? Yes, the relative pronoun. You can say there is someone who, or whom, or that, or phi, or zero. I'm sorry. Who, or whom, or that, or zero. Okay, can you tell me why we were able to delete this relative pronoun? Yes, because it's an object. This object is not the main component in English sentence. So we're able to delete it. So this is an adjective clause. Yes. Everything he said was pure nonsense. We have everything is an indefinite pronoun. Everything is an indefinite pronoun. And the adjective clause is he said. Okay. The main clause is everything. Let me underline it. Everything was pure nonsense. This is a main clause. And the second clause is the first clause is everything was pure nonsense, and the second sentence is he said it or he said nonsense. Okay, and we can say everything which or that or zero. Everything which or that or zero or phi he said was pure nonsense. We're able to delete the relative pronoun because this is an object of verb set. Okay, anybody who wants to come is welcome. Indefinite pronoun is anybody, and the main clause is anybody come is welcome. And the adjective clause is wants to come is welcome.
And in this example, we can't delete a relative pronouns who because who is a subject of the verb once, which is subject is a main component in English sentence, so we can delete it.
Okay, look at to the second point. Adjective clauses can modify the one, the ones, and those. There are the example. Paula was the only one I knew at the party. So, adjective clauses can modify the only one. Okay. I knew at the party is the adjective clause. Scholarships are available for those who need financial assistance. Those is also can modified by the adjective clause. This is referred to the group of people. It's not referred to someone or anyone in particular, right? Okay, the third point is look at the example first. I who am a student at this school come from a country in Asia, and it is incorrect because adjective clauses are almost never used to modify personal pronouns like I, he, she. Native English speakers would not say or write the sentence in F. Get it? Okay. It is I who am responsible. Example G is possible but very formal in uncommon. He who loves last loves best. Example H is a well-known saying in which he is used and as an indefinite pronoun, meaning anyone or any part or any persons.
Okay, in the next topic, we are going to learn about punctuating adjective clauses. Let's go to the example. Before we start with the example, please pay attention. General guidelines for the punctuation of adjective clauses. 1. Do not use commas if the adjective clause is necessary to identify the noun it modifies. And the second, use commas if the adjective clause simply gives additional information and is not necessary to identify the noun it modifies. For example, the professor who teaches chemistry 101 is an excellent lecturer. Professor Wilson, who teaches chemistry 101, is an excellent lecturer. In the first example, no commas are used. The adjective clause is necessary to identify which professor is meant. But in the second example, commas are used. The adjective clause is not necessary to identify Professor Wilson. We already know who he is. He has a name. The adjective clause simply gives additional information. Look at the other example. Hawaii, which consists of 8 principal islands, is a favorite vacation spot. Mrs. Smith, who is a retired teacher, does volunteer work at the hospital. The example C and D use commas because an adjective clause modifies a proper noun. A proper noun begins with a capital letter. And for your information, if no commas are used, any possible pronoun may be used in the adjective clause. Object pronouns may be omitted. Okay, now how about the meaning? Let's compare the meaning. The example G, we took some children on a picnic. The children who want to play soccer ran to an open field as soon as we arrived at the park. The use of commas means that all of the children want to play soccer and all of the children ran to an open field. The adjective clause is used only to give additional information about the children. And in the other example, no commas are used. The lack of commas means that only some of the children want to play soccer. The adjective clause is used to identify which children ran to the open field.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi friends. Good morning. I'm Aslin. I will explain my comprehension on my material. This is using expression of quantity and adjective clauses. The first, I will explain to you what is expression of quantity and adjective clauses. The second, I will give you some example of expression of quantity and adjective clauses. And the last, I want you to do the exercise I provide to you. Okay? Contains means number will be followed by of, like some of, many of, most of, none of, two of, half of, a few of, a little of, a number of, etc. Expression of quantity precedes the pronoun. Only whom, which, and whose used in this pattern. Whom for people, which for Jack, and whose is there is possession or kepemilikan. The entire expression of quantity should begin the adjective clauses. Adjective clauses that begin with an expression of quantity are more common in writing than speaking. Commas are used in expression of quantity and adjective clauses. Let's take a look at the example. The first example. In my class, there are 20 students. Most of them are from the Far East. We are talking about the student. We see that the second sentence with them. Since the students are people, we replace them with whom. So, the adjective clauses is, in my class there are 20 students. Most of them are from Asia. The whole expression of quantity needs to begin the adjective clauses, most of whom is ready in the beginning, so we don't have to move it. Remember, the whole adjective clauses need to come directly after the noun that is modifier. The last step to be said, we need commas because this always in extra information. So here the comma after the student. I give you very big explanations and I hope you are understanding very well. And let's move to the second example. He gives several reasons. The focus under reasons. The noun's reason is an object. The second sentence, only a few of them were valid. So the adjective clauses is, he gave several reasons, only a few of which were valid. The third example, the teachers discussed Jim. One of his problems was poor study habits. We talk about the problem that him have. So the adjective clauses, the teacher discussed Jim, one of whose problem was poor study habits. We use whose because it is the problem of Jim. And the last example, he has 3 cars. All of his cars are new and expensive. So the adjective clauses is, he has 3 cars, all of which are new and expensive. Can you guess right? Yes, because we talk about the cars. It is an object. Here are things you have to remember. What we need to remember with expression of quantity. The first, use whom for people, which for things or object, and if there is possession, we also use whose. But expression of quantity with possession aren't allowed use common and adjective clauses. The next one, we need to remember, if you have to move the pronoun whom, which, whose, then you also have to move the expression of quantity. You can just move whom or which to the front. It is going to be some of which, and many of whom, few of whose, etc. You cannot move it like which is some of, whom many of, because it is not common. And the last one, always use commas in the expression of quantity, because expression of quantity always give extra information. So you need commas in adjective clauses. Now, I want you to do the exercise. First, the city has 30 schools. 5 of them are junior college. You have to focus on the noun. The noun here is schools. So the adjective clauses is. Second, there are 4 young people. 2 of them want to see you now. The noun is people. So the adjective clauses is. Third, I tried on 6 pairs of shoes. I like none of them. So the adjective clauses is. 4, have to meet Sam. Sam's eldest son is getting married this week. So the adjective clauses is. In the last, the village has around 200 people. The majority of them are farmers. So the adjective clauses is by listening my explanation, looking the example and doing the exercise. I believe you guys have already understand the using expression of quantity. But if you have any other question related to my material, please me now and ask me to our WhatsApp group. I will try your question. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhlisin and now I will explain about the using which to modify whole sentence. Using which to modify whole sentence informal and occurs more frequently in spoken English. This structure is generally appropriate informal writing with never. It is written, however. It is preceded by a comma to reflect a pause in speech. For example, Max isn't mortgage than worries me. Max isn't home yet, which worries me. And then, my father had got a lot of medals from sport championships when he was young. I admire that very much. Thanks. My father had got a lot of medals from sport championships when he was young, which I admire very much. Maybe enough for me. And thus I say, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.